Facebook Live. Hello, Divine Brilliant Visionary Leaders. It's 2 o'clock. PST in Los Angeles. I'm Val. Welcome to Valtopia TV, honey. Yeah. Got a little Stevie Wonder. Hello, hello. Let's go, let's go. I need to share this and get some people on here. Happy Thursday. Yes, I love that track. That's a good one. We'll go out with it. How are you? Who's here with me? Hello. All right, we have some good music going here. And I'm going to share this. And I've got a good, juicy topic this week. It has been a week. It has been a week for a lot of us. And I've been through my own energy shifts myself, and I want to talk to you today about triggers and what a blessing they can be. So let me share the live stream so we can get some crew going on here. I didn't do any promo, so let me share this to the group. And if you're watching the replay, I want you to think about what has been triggering you lately, and if you've ever had a moment where you got triggered, you didn't have a gap between when you got triggered and how you reacted to it. That's never happened to you, I'm sure. So let me share this to my page. And let's see who's going to join us today. All right. Should we see if we get a filter while we're waiting for some people to join? Let's see, what do we have here? So I'm waiting. I want a few people to join before I get tucked into the show. And if we don't have enough people, maybe I'll go live right on my page. Who's with me? Welcome. Happy Thursday. Who do I have here? Oh, it's loading in all the filters. I was going to see what I could put on here. Let me close that. Okay. So this week, hello, thank you for joining. It's Val. I'm in Valtopia in Los Angeles, and I'm talking about triggers. Triggers. Somebody put one of their triggers that happened to them where they didn't choose their reaction as much as they'd like to. Has that ever happened to you? Talk to me about it. Tell me. Who's here with me? I want to see. I want to see. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck into it, and those of you watching the replay will enjoy the presentation, and then we of course, as usual, I have my cards and energy transmission, and I do want to talk, before I tuck into the topic today, about Mother Earth, because Schmumpy made a decision today. I'll just let that reference drop out as pulling us out of our commitment to protecting the environment. And so I want everybody to just take a moment while we're waiting for more of you to join us for this week to send some love down into Mother Earth and all around Mother Earth, and to thank Schmumpy for triggering us about Mother Earth, because now we are going to sprint more energy and more love to protecting our Mother Earth. So let's view decisions made in this realm that we've been seeing, where we're like, what? I mean, talk about a trigger. And let's be grateful for the trigger, because the trigger, what does the trigger do? The trigger awakens us to how we feel. And if we allow ourselves to tuck into those feelings, they guide and direct us to our own solutions about how we want to shift things, right? It's so easy when you get triggered, first of all, to just lose your you-know-what, right? Something happens, and immediately it's some sort of panic or fear of safety, fear of security, fear of being booted from the tribe, fear of being shunned or isolated, all the things that make us just completely, and you have a reaction before you choose your reaction. Trigger punched. Something happens and all the switches, and you go, boo! And next thing you know, you're doing whatever kind of reaction it is that you're going to do, right? Hi, Amy, how are you? And you may pop off and say say something you regret. You may physically react. You may withdraw and shut down. You may go into a dark place that you might not have visited for a long time. Those can be some of the most fruitful experiences, but it's important to allow yourself the feelings that come up from the trigger. And it's important to move through the trigger. And if ideally, the more we go, the more we are choosing, there's like this time warp and this gap between the trigger punch and the reaction, first of all. And then once we do realize we're triggered and we're in a place of reaction from the experience, now we're in a place to reflect. And really, ideally, the place you want to get to about it is gratitude. And that's definitely not the first place that we go, is it? Some of the places we go: anger, fear, self-doubt, worry, anxiety, physical reactions where our skin is flushed and our guts respond to lack of sleep, too much food, not enough food, right? Hi, Amy. How are you? Welcome. And sometimes you start getting into these reactions, and it's like a ball rolling, and you can't stop it, right? How are you? I'm talking about triggers, babe. Triggers, how there's this kind of undefined space between getting trigger punched, something that flips all your switches and causes a reaction, a body, spirit, mind reaction throughout your whole presence. And then you have some sort of reaction to the trigger, and then there's the aftermath of that, and where that takes you, and where you choose to let it take you, or where you choose to take it and go through it. And so I think one of the most important things to do, first of all, is to become very aware of your body, right? That's my favorite thing. What do you feel, and where do you feel it in your body? And one of the things I've found when I'm in my dark space, triggered to a place of sort of like withdrawal and retreat. Hi, Ada, how are you? How do you move through the trigger? Yeah, the first step is to become aware of how you feel. And what I was going to say is that I've noticed for many of us and many of my clients that as we tuck into that darkness, we judge ourselves. Hello, Abigail, gorgeous. Yeah, we start to attack ourselves. Not only does our body have a reaction and it starts to attack itself, but then the mind starts to attack ourselves, and we start to beat ourselves up for having the reaction, especially if it's one we haven't had in a long time and it's a deep wound. And it's really easy to get into this place of beating yourself up and retreating to some of the old behaviors that you might have lived through already many times in your life whenever the trigger is switched. And this is your opportunity to free yourself. You came here to experience this very thing. You have called it in to your life. That used to piss me off so bad when people tell you, you made this, you called this in your life. Are you kidding? We have called this experience into our life. Hello, Charlene. To resolve it. Now, I don't propose to sit here and tell you all the finite answer of that. Just take the power of that in this moment of your own situation of a trigger, to take it and look at it and observe it and almost step outside of it and see what do I feel, where do I feel in my body, what does that remind me of? Wow, I'm really down, I'm really sad, and I'm really angry. Why am I so angry? Instead of being like, God, quit being angry. And the second part of becoming aware of your body and moving through this energy is to move your body and to allow the energy and blood flow. Hi, Kelsey, and water and everything to move through you, and to sing perhaps, and to move your body. Now, I'm going to say, when I'm in the dark place, that's the last thing I usually do is sing. But there have been many times I've short-circuited a dip by singing, or by listening to a good track like that Stevie Wonder track, or by stretching, doing some yoga, stepping outside in the grass, taking a moment to connect to my body. Where do I feel? What do I feel? And if it's something that's really panicked you and you're freaking out, that's allow the panic. Where's this panic coming from? What am I afraid of? Why am I so afraid of this? And there's going to be a surface level answer, and then there's going to be a deeper answer, and then there's like the root of it. If you can get to the root, get down on your knees and sing hallelujah, because as you move through the understanding of the root of it, you create a new root in your mind, a new moment in your experience that you went through this same test, this very thing that your soul asked to experience and move through, and you do it. And you do it. So, Ada, are you still there? Does that begin to answer how we move through it? Body awareness, self-awareness, self-compassion, space if you can get it, space if you can make it for yourself. And trust me, the moments of space will come when you most need them. And if you have community that support you in being yourself and calling you out when you're beating yourself up and reminding you of who you really are. Not the you that's comfortable, that you've grown up with, that's going to bring you back in the trigger, but the people that really see you or allow you to see and be yourself. And then in that space, you can experience the whole thing in a new way. And it might feel really awkward and strange at first, but it's different. Now let me see what all these comments say. Hi, Lisa. Kelsey says, ooh, you know what I do when I get to pull myself out of crap and do yoga? I say, oh, I need to prepare first. I get dressed, prepare a space, and then you never get to it. Ooh, Kelsey. That's the thing about a ritual and a practice, is if you make a dedicated effort to get into the practice, then it becomes a habit and you save yourself from it. And so one of the things that I've done is in the moments when I'm not triggered and I am feeling blissful and light, that's when I really allow myself to receive all these wonderful awarenesses. And these videos that I make are recordings. I have these recordings I make in the shower for myself, and they're so blissful and awake. And then when I go dark, I go back and listen to myself when I was in a place of wisdom and strength and courage. I'll be like, that's me. That's me too. And what is this feeling I'm having right now? And why are the two match? Like, how could it feel so courageous the one day and then the other the next? And the day that you don't feel courage and you doubt yourself is when something has triggered you back into a place when you didn't have the choice. And you felt incapacitated or overwhelmed or less than. And this strength and love and courage for yourself, all of it that you can muster, and all the space that you can create and prepare for yourself as you are expanding, to have the space and the quiet and the support system to see yourself truly and allow yourself to go into a new place about it. Powerful, powerful. Hi, Charlene. I love that. Kelsey says yes. Charlene says yes. Do the inner work, but get yourself around great people and heighten the energy. Kelsey says, thank you for providing this amazing opportunity for awareness. Oh my God, I love you. Thank you. I'm the biggest fan of talking about expansion, triggers, self-awareness, and how we move through these things, because I've done it time and again. And it cracks me up no matter how many times I've expanded and pushed myself and done incredible things. I find, even though it shifts in a way, I find myself again and again, and so do my clients, no matter how big they get, getting to that edge and thinking, wow, I'm meeting this root again. And there's a tendency to want to retreat from it and to think it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Triggers are wonderful energy shifters. Thank the triggers. Thankful for the triggers. Right? All right, everybody, what do you think? Give me some feedback. I love it. I love it. There was some stuff that went on this week on the scene, right? somebody said something, another person thought that person said one thing and then called them all out on their stuff, and then the other person was traumatized and they're trying to. So, and I had my own weekend of going into a really, really pensive place, a really deep place for my own triggers. And I've talked to other people. And so I'm assuming that this energy is provocative because there's work we need to do to shift this energy around. And so as painful or irritating or angering or messing with you energy that it is part of the expansive cycle. And it is what allows us to sort of loosen up the energy and regenerate it, right? And the darkness is that sort of clean slate. Almost like when this, I always love to say this, but when the soil is full of seeds and you don't see the blossoms yet, and you don't go in there and dig it all up, you water it, you nourish it, you keep the faith. And even when you don't see anything, you trust that that they're going to grow. And if it doesn't grow, then you start over again, right? Yes, like nature, it's seasons and cycles. Absolutely. Absolutely. So there are many ways to move through the worst of your triggers. I mean, support, body awareness, practice, ritual and practice, connection. And what I did this weekend was in my group, in Divine Brilliance for Visionary Leaders, I ran a beautiful set of Sacred Soul alignments, which is the modality I've been certified in this week from Elysia Hartzell. And they really, I felt a little bit of pressure in my third eye. And then about 30 minutes later, I had a kind of a kaleidoscope ocular migraine. And I felt different. And really, for me, what I was going through, and maybe some of you have been going through this too, it was a deep self-doubt triggered by an old viewpoint that was being reinforced. And me facing a truth and strength about myself that I could count on myself and not be forced back into a place of powerlessness because of being reliant on those who don't have the same view and faith and belief in what I do and who I am and how I be. And I've chosen this. I'm choosing this every day. I'm choosing this life. I'm choosing to be in and of my own essence, to speak and express myself, to create art, to believe in consciousness and illumination from within, and to provide and guide that for my clients and my tribe. And it's not always an easy decision, and it isn't always smooth up until now. I'm asking for it to be more and more so, and I'm seeing my vision being created. I'm seeing the inner illumination being reflected back to me. Are there some moments of darkness and feeling lost and confused and scared? Hell yeah, of course. And then we come back around, right? I think another thing I want to talk about this triggering, should you find yourself in a trigger situation where you've triggered someone and you find yourself triggered, you really want to look at the situation and say, what did I call into my life? What am I looking at? Why is this coming up? Because the truth is, when we don't get to move through the trigger and come into a detached awareness of the trigger and a new experience of it, that bitch will keep coming back. You know what I'm saying? Give me a high five for that. You know? You might leave a boyfriend that's a pain in the ass that's bringing out all this stuff. Think, all right, I'm out of there. But if you don't resolve the inner drama and thing that brought that in, the lesson about yourself, the root that you're trying to recreate, well, then you're going to find that in a new friend or a neighbor or somebody at the office, right? So thank your triggers and tuck in, baby. Tuck in and find out what's going on up in there. And if you I've gotten plenty of support on this, from therapy to energy healing and spiritual classes. And, oh, my ears are ringing. Somebody's got a spirit guide coming through. Yeah, everybody says, yeah, I'm going to read the comments in a second. I love this stuff, and I'm good at it because I've been through it so many times. I've been pushing myself. I was a foreign exchange student when I was 15. I traveled a ton as a kid. I was always the new kid in the school. And kids are mean, man. I was weird, too. I was probably super intuitive and stood there doing my thing, and little girls thought I was bossy, so they sort of isolated me. And I always carried that with me everywhere I went. We carry this stuff. And I learned a lot. And I've learned so much with my clients and through this energy work is amazing. So if you find you're stuck, or you can't get undark, or you can't get unmad, or you keep doing it over no matter what you do, all the energy work and yoga and everything you're doing, talk to me or talk to somebody that you're attracted to, that your intuition saying that's the situation that's going to really allow you to let it go. Because now's the time for us to let it go. We have so many opportunities, those of us that are on this Facebook together, investing in ourselves, believing in our gifts, and opening up to the illumination within us and the belief in what we do. We are privileged to do this, and it's now. It's right now we have the ability. If you think that your situation isn't allowing you to do it, find out why you think that, because it's not true. There's always another infinite possibilities. So let me read these comments. Hi, Reza, if you're there. Charlene says, we can't have the light without the dark. Ain't that the truth? It's polarity, the movement from into balance. Yeah, the yin and yang and the flow, the ebb and tide of the flow. But when we come into awareness of our own patterns, it makes it so much easier, right? Ooh, it's 2:22 here in Los Angeles. Yes. Now, I hope I'm not missing any comments on another place that I'm sharing it. If you're looking at me and I'm not seeing your comments, come over to the Valtopia Studios biz page and put a comment. And how are you guys doing? Have you been having triggers and things going on? What's happening? Let me take a sip of water. You know what I think I'm going to do, guys? This was my message for the day, and I want to keep it short and simple. And I'm going to go back on my homepage and just pull some cards, because I like to gather some of my other friends that are on my page. Do you guys have any more questions about triggers, or do you want me to tune into one of your triggers here, or we can do that over on the page too? And drink some water, because there's some energy coming through me today, let me tell you. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go on to my homepage. We're going to go out with actually, I'll bring it up when I come on. And journal that stuff. Journal it, or talk with a friend, or video yourself talking about it so you can begin to recognize the patterns and be kind to yourself. Self-compassion. All right? Thank you. I love you. I'll see you next week, Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific. And come join me on my page right now for some readings, energy reads. Bye.